Hi, welcome to my video. Thanks for joining me at Anspace. I'm at the airport. I've got a couple of hours here and then I'm off saying goodbye to Italy and hello to Morocco. So stick around. I'm going to be in Morocco for a couple of weeks, so there will be certainly a lot to share. So thanks for watching. Well, getting to board. Now I'm actually going to Air Arabia, so I don't know why this is an Electra plane. It's a really small one. I didn't expect it was so small, but that's okay. I'm sure we'll be fine. Well, I'm not sure how I managed that, but I've got a seat right at the front of the plane. Goodbye, Italy. And I'm leaving Italy just as it starts to cool down. There's a little bit of snow back over there. So, yeah, it's probably a good time for me to leave, heading south. Now these trains, their speed is just a little bit different from the Italian trains. I don't think it's particularly new. Well, it couldn't be more different here than where I was in Italy. It is so dry and I can just about taste the dust. But fascinating railway trip from the airport, and it's really good. They have a direct line and it's just a few minutes walk to once I get to my hostel, so that's really great. So here is the inside of the Ryan 91 where I'm staying, and I will show you my room a bit later, but it's a bit of a mess just at the moment. And I didn't realise that, but breakfast is actually included in my price of my accommodation. So I've got a private room and I get breakfast up here. So I'm looking forward to that. And look, it goes up even further. Let's go and have a look. And there's this area which I'm sure I'm going to enjoy. Oh, and there is more. This is the actual terrace. So yeah, lots of little areas to get comfortable in. I'm not quite sure actually now which level breakfast is going to be on, but it's quite a nice view over the city as well. We'll stay looking up, and look at that, looks really nice. And down we have a few rooms. That's okay. I'm going to go exploring now. The temperature's already cooled down, which is brilliant. It's only just after 5, but it's about 3 degrees cooler than it was an hour ago. So this is just cool, just wandering through all these lanes. There's people tearing around on motorbikes and cars, the kids are playing. I think it's because it's early evening and it's cooled down and everyone's coming out. And I just stopped at a van and bought some beautiful pastry. So yeah, I think I'm just going to relax here and just go with the flow. So I'd hoped to get some water purification tablets. I should have thought about it when I was in Italy. And yeah, bought some there, but went into a pharmacy. He's like, I've never heard anybody come in and ask that before. So yeah, I'll just got to suck it up, I think, and buy plastic bottles of water. But have a look at where I'm walking. I just stumbled across these markets. I've just been wandering and wandering. Isn't it fantastic? And there's just so many cats here. None of them are fixed. Oh, here comes a kitty cat to talk to me. So I'm not quite sure what the wall is, but it was the same back further. And there's houses up above it with little doors that you can go in through it. Oops, got to watch out for those speed humps. Wow. Who's got the loudest voice? Sells the goods, I think. All the jewellery. And not only are there outdoor markets, there's also the indoor markets as well. This would be really nice in the heat of the day. So I've sat down to have an omelette bread roll, and this is my view. There's lots of locals, and yeah, it's fascinating. It's fun to just watch. Well, I just had my, well, we'll call it my dinner. It was a bread roll with egg and other things in it. And then I just popped out of the markets. And it was like really, really busy street. It's like, who would have thought? Just round the corner. It's like coming to a different world. So that's where I was, down in amongst all those buildings. And people would disappear up ladders, up onto roofs, and there was a dog trotting around. Who would have thought? Just so different from Milan, where I've just come from. Good morning. So I'm out and about bright and early this morning. I thought I'd do a walk before I had breakfast at the hotel, and it's really weird, no one's around hardly. So incredible to see just nothing here after that big busy market yesterday evening. So I've walked out of the Medina now, but this wall here is the original Medina wall, and I did comment on that yesterday. And then back here a little bit is one of the original gates. This gate actually dates back to about 1100. And across the road is the port, which I'm going to explore a bit later on, and an incredibly modern building. Well, I'm super impressed with just how friendly everybody is here. A lot of them initiate conversation. It's a French-speaking area, so there's a lot of bonjours as I walk around, which is just really nice. I get a really nice vibe about it. And yeah, more people coming out and about now as it gets later in the morning as I wander. So literally 2 minutes away from my accommodation is this hotel, and then right across the road is the Medina. So yeah, it's such a varied city from, a 5-minute walk. So just wandering along and noticed this cathedral. It's the Cathedral of Sacred Heart, built in 1930, but it's huge, and I'll try and get a shot of along the side. It's hard to get in a good shot because there's so many trees around, but yeah, you sort of get the idea of how far it goes back. I love these huge roundabouts, and they've all got lanes marked. How cool is that? Everyone's so organised. Well, I walked down here about 25 minutes from where I'm staying to see the Villa of the Arts. And unfortunately, it's temporarily closed, but it is a cool building. And I saw lots of interesting stuff, so not a waste of time, that's for sure. So I think I've mentioned the French influence, and you can definitely see it here in the Park of the Arab League. Oh, I've got a cat and I've got a cleaner. How fun is that? But yeah, this is a lovely park I just sort of happened by. So this is Casablanca's Notre Dame. So not particularly attractive from the outside, but I'll go and see if I can go inside. And not much luck with the Notre Dame. It's now open only Monday, Wednesday and Friday. Guess what? It's Tuesday today. Oh well, and it's not even Friday the 13th. That's been and gone. Too funny. Well, just as well that I don't listen to the signs, because yes, it is opened. Isn't this marvellous? This is very, very different. And behind all those concrete pillars is more stained glass. How cool is that? So my next stop on my own little walking tour is the palace. So there's lots of guards outside and there's a big wall. So fingers crossed there will be entrance. So I just had a little, do you call it pigeon English? Maybe it was pigeon French. Anyway, conversation with some security guards, and they said, no, you can't go into the palace, but you can. They pointed me in the direction of a gate where I can take some photos. So that was good. Well, that was too funny. I talked to the guards at the gate and they said the only photos I'm allowed to take is of the door and they had to ask the other security group to go away from the door. They were so friendly, and I think I'm going to be saying that a lot of times because, yeah, they are just wonderful. Okay, now my next site. Let me have a check of my map. So that's as much of the palace as I'm going to see. Just a bit over the top of the wall. I'm not quite sure what this area is called, but it's just around the corner from the palace. In fact, the palace is just up behind me. But there's all these really nice buildings. So the markets couldn't be more different here than what they were last night at the old Medina. Everything's really quiet and the shopkeepers are so attentive, but there again, not pushy at all, so it's really lovely. So here's one of these roundabouts again, and what do you do at a roundabout if someone stops? Like everyone's tooting, no one gives way. It's hilarious, and I think there's actually 7 roads that come into this roundabout, so I could just stand here and watch it. Forget about crossing the road. I'm going to work out where I'm going anyway. So historically, both the French and the Germans wanted to take over Casablanca, and this was the German consulate. So now it's actually a public school, but this sign over here, the 2 languages on that sign are Arabic, which goes from right to left, and then Berberic, I think I've got that right, it goes from left to right at the bottom. So a couple of other interesting things in this same square of where the German consulate was is this is actually a building from the Spanish time back in the 1800s, never been restored. And this here is some graffiti from the football teams. And I've seen a lot of that around, so yeah, motorbikes are here too, squeezing through. So this mural is actually 5 years old and they keep updating it, and it signifies that the man in the middle was from Casablanca, and then sometimes there's a war, that's what he's wearing, and sometimes they play football. So the words at the bottom are football and resistance. So this walking tour has been timed quite nicely for the sunset on the Hassan II Mosque. Very impressive. I'm going to come back here tomorrow. I've got heaps of time, and the whole waterfront. We've been past all sorts of shops, including the Casablanca, which I'll go and check out. Yeah, it's nice to sort of get a feel for the place and then come back and check it out myself alone. So come right up to this mosque, and this whole area during Ramadan gets filled with people praying. It's 105,000 people, and those 2 buildings over there, they're all part of the mosque. So I'm just going to go in a bit closer. All the mosaic and everything, and it was all built by experts, not just builders. And as you can see, it just goes crazy. Like, these wouldn't all be travellers, they're just family people who come here at this time of night, and it's all open, not inside the mosque but on the outside, and you can do a guided tour, which I may or may not consider. Oh, good morning from a very sunny Casablanca, and I'm out by the marina near where I was last night, but this morning's a bit different. I'm actually meeting up with Michelle, who I touched base with on the Facebook group Host a Sister, but it turns out we're actually doing the same Intrepid tour. So there's a heads up, I'm doing a tour. So I'm meeting Michelle for a coffee, which will be really nice. Looking forward to a decent coffee. Well, I'm going on a bit of adventure. I thought, what else can I do here in Casablanca? I've sort of pretty much done everything. And then I remembered that my guide from last night had said we could catch the tram to the beach, just one tram. And I thought, oh, I can work this out. So yeah, I got to the station. It's actually 2 trams and maybe something else. And yeah, so I'm working my way around, and it's so, the people here, I just can't say it enough, they're just so lovely and so kind, and they're so keen to help. It's just a wonderful place to visit. Oh, what a good idea it was to come down to the beach. Of course, I'm not going swimming, but I'm actually going to take my sandals off and walk along the beach. And behind me there, that's sort of where we were last night when we saw the large mosque. So I could walk back that way, but it was actually quite fun coming out here on the tram. So I'm going to get back on the tram. But yeah, let's go for a walk on the beach. Now that's something, have I actually done on this trip? Yeah, I don't think I, oh yes I did. I did it in Duras in Albania. Yeah, go back and look at my previous vlogs that I posted, because there is one on Albania. But anyway, let's get down to that beach. Yep, so walking along the beach, bare feet, and behind me here, what do they have for sale on the beach? Pots of mint tea. What a good idea. I did have an ice cream or a gelato yesterday. Don't know why I bothered. Not a patch on the ones in Italy, of course. So I can't say that I'm even tempted up in that. But I seem to be enjoying it, and yes, there is one lady in suitable swimsuits for this culture. Oh, it's all a bit of a shame really. I walked way down over there and then I'll come back the other way. And this coastline has so much potential, and there's little pockets that are really nice, but unfortunately they're just pockets. So yeah, I guess, you know, each country has its own style and I shouldn't judge, so I won't. And these are the very nice trams that they have in Casablanca. They're really good, really efficient. So I'm in the old markets, but it's a totally different area than I was the other day. It's like everything's happening here. It's all outdoors, lots of people cooking food. It's just humming. Yeah, and look at that, we're actually outside the old wall. So this is not part of the old Medina. Look at this fish over here. Cool, hey. Look at this, fresh crabs, and they're running away. Oh, look at that, thank you. Yeah. And here we go, smoked fish. Oh, thank you, sir. It is so funny that I've only just discovered this, and I only came down here because on my map it showed that there was an outdoor store, and I'm looking for some hiking poles. But I don't think I'm going to find your traditional outdoor store anywhere near here. But fun walking through these alleys. So these are the places I like to find where they're actually cooking things in front of me, so I know it's absolutely fresh, rather than getting one that's covered with plastic. So this is like I've been having for breakfast, but she's done it with cheese or Nutella or anything, but I'm just getting mine plain. Well, it's my last day of staying in the old Medina. I've really enjoyed it here, and it's just so nice once again to get out and about early in the morning and just go through the quiet little alleyways and just seeing everybody getting everything ready for the day. So good. So I can't believe that already I feel like I know my way around these Medinas. It's just amazing how quickly it all just starts to make sense, and you know which turns and twists to make. So good. And yesterday morning when I came down here, all the mums were taking their kids to school. Don't know if that'll be the case today, but I guess I'll see soon. So this is where I'm heading this morning. I just thought, because it was dark, or almost dark, when I came to have a look at this mosque the other day on the walking tour, I would come back and look at it today. And yeah, there's a big naval presence here as well, so we've seen lots of people in naval uniforms. So here we are, the mosque. what used to be the tallest mosque for a while, and now it's been taken over. So this time of the morning it's actually closed to the public. It reopens again when there's the call for prayer, and I don't have the schedule for that, but it's really nice to come out and see it in the daylight. So just to put it into perspective, this is where the mosque is, and this is the waterfront. So here is the natural waterfront. This is how it used to be. But then all the port, which is all down here, that's actually reclaimed land. The French did the reclamation at the same time as they did the governing of Casablanca here. So that was back in 1912, and they extended the land out from the wall of the old Medina. So once again I'm on the edge of the old Medina, and it's all happening here. Lots of transport, methods of moving and projects. It's so cool. I gotta love it. Hey, well, I've changed hotels because this is where I'm starting my Intrepid trip. So that hotel there, Al Walid, is where I'm staying tonight, the first night of my Intrepid tour. And yeah, it's just not got the character of where I was at the old Medina, which is a bit of a shame. And I'm sharing with someone, I haven't met her yet, but yeah, that's going to be interesting. And hopefully, you know, we get on. We've got 2 weeks together, so it's always good to have a roomie that you can get on with. Anyway, I'm going to go for a little bit of walk. I've got a free afternoon, so I'm going to go to the Habous area. So come on, let's go for a walk. So I've had a really interesting, probably 30-minute walk from Al Walid Hotel and gone through some really interesting areas. And seriously, I have not seen another Westerner. And here's the railway line that I think we'll be taking tomorrow. But yeah, really interesting to once again get away from the tourists. So this is part of the new Medina, or Habous as it's called, and yeah, so different from the old Medina. Just yeah, definitely a different vibe. And yeah, now there are a few tourists, and what I'm finding by talking to people is a lot of people are getting taxis to places, or a guided driver. Yeah, which is interesting, because I actually think it's fun just doing the walking, but it isn't for everybody, and I understand that. So you know, I am not judging, that's for sure. Oh, look at this stuff! Wow, gold, gold, gold! So I've heard that this place with the olives, and look at it, and you can smell them. Oh, they smell just delicious. And it's just full of olives. Look at them all. Yeah, so many. So yeah, weird that I do a selfie in the olive area, but these barrels, so they're almost 2/3 of my height, and they are full with olives. Yeah. So, oh, I love the smell. So yeah, I know a lot of people don't like olives, but I actually really do. So I'm so glad I found this place. So I think I've seen all the markets, and then I take a turn. Turn a corner, and I'm like, oh, this goes right back. There's like alleys and alleys of all this stuff. Oh, just consumerism is out of control. So these Habous markets are right next to the palace. So I'm actually around the corner from where I was the other day. And yeah, there again, there's just security everywhere. And I can't get in. But it's just nice wandering, and I'm doing streets that I didn't see the other day, and there's this beautiful cool breeze. You can see the flags are fluttering. So yeah, just nice. And it's a lovely park here. But unfortunately, it's all padlocked. I'm not sure what it's for, but not the public. So that brings me to the end of travelling solo in Casablanca. There's some pictures of the riad that I stayed at on my own. But here's a few photos of just some other things I saw. I And I hope you enjoy these last little pics, because these are often the special things that I haven't videoed, but I've just taken quickly as I've been wandering around, like when I was in the markets, all the spices and all the shoes, and just different street vehicles that I see. So hope you've enjoyed this video, and until next time, bye for now.